What's going on? It's your boy CJ Goodfella back one time for the one time. Shout out to the LDBC. Speaking on Robert Easter Jr. doubling down, saying that he wants to fight Jorge Linares and Terry Flanagan. We already talked about what would be the perfect fight plan for Robert Easter Jr. If he decides to stay at 135. Would it be a good fight plan for him to rise to superstardom? I'll recap that real quick. I did that video about a month or two ago. I think Jorge Linares is the number one target. Then I thought Terry Flanagan would be, or Mikey Garcia, depending on, how Mikey Garcia looks versus Adrian Broner now. If he decides to come back down, he beats Adrian Broner. I think the build-up, I'll talk about that a little bit later, will be epic, and that could be a crossover superstar fight for Robert Easter Jr. I thought Terry Flanagan would be a good second or third option, depending on what's going on with Mikey Garcia. Pretty much, that's how I felt. Now, one thing, we got to get this dude off Bounce TV. He brings out some very good crowds in Toledo. Definitely a town I'm familiar with. Been there a lot of times. Football, basketball camp, the whole nine. Shout out to University of Toledo Rockets. Got love for the MAC. But get him off of Bounce, man. Let's get him on NBC, HBO, Showtime, CBS, something in a good fight, especially if it comes down to Mikey Garcia. But how would he stack up in a ring with first Jorge Linares and Terry Flanagan? For one, Jorge Linares, he'll beat the dog walking shit out of him, man. No doubt in my mind. I know guys talking about trying to tell me Jorge Linares is a pound for pound, fringe guy, or in the pound for pound at the bottom, bottom three of the top 10. And I'm like, man, you absolutely out your fucking mind. Talking about I know boxing, you don't know shit. Who he beat to be in the pound for pound. Too many motherfuckers pound for pound lists be, off the eyeball test. Yes, you can look good versus even level guys, average guys, B minus, B guys. Yes, you're gonna look good versus those guys, but what you do versus the B plus and the A minus and the A guys and A plus guys, you know what I mean? Too many times in the sport of boxing, people, get all shocked when these guys and these prospects don't live up to the competition, when they start fighting even competition. You know how good a guy is, like Andre Ward and Kovalev. They fought twice. They fought equals, they peers. They both elite fighters. You don't get that too much often in fight in boxing now. But that's how you know. But as far as Jorge Linares, he's been knocked out several times in his career, over and over again. Rebirth. Got knocked out by Antonio DeMarco. Then Antonio DeMarco took the belt from Broner. We never heard from DeMarco again. He ain't beat nobody since he came make the comeback. He just got belts. He was a product of a whack-ass division, and that's pretty much what it is. Didn't beat Omar Figueroa when he was WC champion. Didn't beat Broner while he was there. Don't think he beat Ricky Burns. Didn't beat Ray Beltran. Didn't beat Terrence Crawford. Didn't beat Yorkis Gamboa. I don't even think he beat a Hank Lundy. He ain't beat no guys like that. Klimov. I don't think he beat a Miguel Vasquez, a Richard Abreu, a Brandon Rios, and Anthony Peterson. He didn't beat none of the, some of the good guys that came through that division. He beat the guys, pick and choose the right route for him to get a title or some shit like that, man. Definitely a fraud, a fraud. People see him as the lineal champ. He's definitely the weakest lineal champion in the sport of boxing out the big weight classes, 130 and up, in my opinion. I don't get into, too much below 122. But for sure, I know he's a fraud, and Robert Easter Jr. would dog walk his ass from here to all the way to motherfucking Mexico. Mikey Garcia, I think it'll be a good matchup if Mikey Garcia gets past Broner. But I think he beats Broner too fantastically and feels too comfortable at 140. I think he's going to try to stay there and chase a Terrence Crawford fight. But if he wins versus Broner and decides to come back down, and I think it's a perfect, storyline. Little bro, takes on, Mikey Garcia to defend big bro's honor or some shit like that. Not definitely a crossover fight. I think that's the type of fight and exposure Robert Easter Jr. needs, to connect with more fans. Get his ass off Bounce TV. Let's get him on some prominent TV. He's all the mismatches that PBC put on the years, and they can't put this guy on TV who's gave them classic after classic, brawl. I think a lot of fans will like him and identify him, as a lightweight Tommy Hearns with his stature. I mean, not much of his fighting style, but he's very aggressive like Tommy. But with his stature, and I think a lot of people think he's bigger than what the fuck he is because he's lightweight. I think he can make a lot of connections. As far as, Terry Flanagan, that's the guy I wanted him to fight. Felix Verdejo has locked that fight down for September 16th, same night as Gennady Golovkin versus Canelo, early in the day in Manchester. Now trading with Abel Sanchez, Felix Verdejo, Abel Sanchez giving him a helping hand, moving his camp out the Big Bear. Just breaking down each one of them. I think he beats the shit out of, Terry Flanagan. Both him and, Robert Easter Jr. and motherfucking Felix Verdejo beat the shit out of him. I think Verdejo is going to fool and have a classic performance in the coming out party. I don't think Top Rank is going to put him, anywhere close to Robert Easter Jr. 10 feet, Golden Corral, 10 inches, a luncheon, brunch, the same hotel, the same arena. No time soon, no matter how good or how bad they look in their next, their next fight, Felix Verdejo and Robert Easter Jr. I do think Felix Verdejo beats him, but I think Robert Easter Jr. dog walks both of these guys easily, and that's just my opinion. We gone.